Welcome to Who Am I, Chapter 8, Round 1. I am a bone that forms the anterior portion of the cranium, helping to build the forehead and the superior eye orbit. Beneath my surface, I house a large sinus that drains above the nasal cavity. My smooth surface gives attachment to muscle of facial expression, and I articulate posteriorly with the parietal bones. You can easily palpate me just above your eyebrows, where I meet the roof of your nasal bridge. Who am I?
The forehead is the frontal bone.
That's correct. Round 2. I am part of the axial skeleton, anchoring at the base of the skull and bearing a massive oval opening underneath. This opening is called the foramen magnum, a passage for the spinal cord as it meets the brain. On both sides of this opening, I have smooth, rounded condyles that articulate with the very first cervical vertebra. You can feel my external occipital protuberance if you follow the bump at the base of your head. Who am I?
That's the occipital bone because the atlas sits under the foramen magnus, so the bump in the back is the occipital bone.
You're right. Round 3. I am a bone marking, a deep rounded basin-like depression found on several bones. In the shoulder, I provide space for one of the body's largest muscles. My infraspinous and supraspinous forms are found on the scapula. Some of me are articular, for example, on the humerus and femur. I help form a part of the synovial joints. You may think of me as a seat or cavity, often serving as a site for muscle attachment or articulation with other bones. Who am I?
The general term would be fossa, like the glenoid cavity fossa you mentioned in the shoulder.
That's right, good job. Round 4. I'm the first cervical vertebra of the vertebral column. Yet unlike most vertebrae, my body is absent or greatly reduced. Ring-like in structure, I cradle the occipital condyles of the skull, supporting the head in a way that lets you perform a yes nodding motion. My unique design lacks a spinous process and instead has a large lateral masses for weight bearing. Named after a mythical Greek figure, I hold up the skull. Who am I?
Okay, well it could be Axis because of the head turning, but this holds the skull, so Atlas.
Yes, good job. Round 5. I am a large, irregularly shaped opening or passageway that runs through a bone. I serve as a conduit for nerves and blood vessels. The skull contains many of me, including the infraorbital and jugular types. My name comes from the Latin for whole, and I can be found in both large and tiny forms throughout the skeleton. In the mandible, my smaller versions transmit nerves crucial for dental sensation. Who am I?
A canal is also a hole for nerves and vessels, but the jugular and infraorbitals are examples of foramen, so foramen.
Yes, that's right. Round 6. I am a saddle-shaped depression in the central skull, part of the sphenoid bone. The pituitary gland rests inside me. My boundaries are formed by the tuberculum and dorsum. My name is derived from a Turkish saddle. Who am I?
Micella turcica.
Yes, that's correct. Round 7. I form the main part of the lower jaw and am the only freely moving skull bone. I provide sockets for the lower teeth. My body contains both the mandibular and mental foramina. The muscles used for chewing attach at my angle and ramus. Who am I?
There's two bones in the skull that contain teeth, the maxilla and the mandible, but the mandible is the only one that's freely moving, so the mandible.
You're correct. Round 8. I am a large, rough projection found only on the femur. Major hip and thigh muscles attached to me. There are two named after me, greater and lesser. I'm not found on any other bone in the body. Who am I?
Okay, so a big and rough bump for muscles sounds like it could be a tuberosity, but this is only for a femur, and there's a greater and lesser one, so trochanter?
Yes, good job. Round 9. I'm the largest tarsal bone and form the prominence of the heel. I bear the body's weight during standing and walking. The Achilles tendon attaches to my posterior surface. My name is Latin for heel. Who am I?
The weight-bearing portion of the heel and the part that's attached to the Achilles is the calcaneus.
That's right. Last round, round 10. I am a long S-shaped bone connecting the sternum to the scapula. I act as a strut to keep the upper limb away from the trunk. My name means little key. I am easily fractured during falls on an outstretched hand. Who am I?
Clavicle.
Correct.
Yes.
We have a tie. Great work, everyone. That was a serious anatomy workout. By working through these in-depth clue-based rounds, you've reviewed bone names, markings, regions, and anatomical details from Chapter 8. Good job!